Hi everybody. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We've reviewed books and philosophy quotes on this channel before, but we've never reviewed a musical project before. And what better one to do than with 03 Greedo's first post-prison release, Halfway There. I'm going to post the album cover up on the screen here for the duration of the video, just so that way we can admire it. Before I want to talk about the review itself, let's first give a little bit of background about the artist himself. So 03 Greedo, aka the Wolf of Grape Street, is a Los Angeles rapper from Watts, and he sort of blew up in around 2016 after some underground success. His breakout track was called Sweet Lady. He released that under his initial name called Greedy Giddy, and it's a great track. I highly recommend you go out and listen to it. He followed up with some mainstream success in 2018 with hits such as Trap House and Substance, the latter of which now I think has close to 20 million listens on Spotify, could even be more, and it's been doing the rounds on TikTok, so of course it's now ruined, but I doubt that Greedo will be complaining. It seemed that everything was on the up until he was hit with a drug and weapons charges in Texas, and he was incarcerated in 2018, taking a 20-year sentence. Now he has been released he's been released for a little bit right now, and on the 24th of March he released his first project since he's come out of prison, which is called Halfway There. Now, before we get into this a little bit more about his style, he has described his own style as emo for gangbangers. I find it to be very melodic. It does rely a lot on auto-tune. However, it works because he's got such a wonderful voice for it. Not to mention as well, he always seems to choose really good production, and he's a hard worker as well. You can just hear the passion shine through on any of his projects. So, I mean, I've been a fan of his since 2018. His Purple Summer Mixtapes, if you haven't listened to him before, I would highly recommend that you go check them out. That's probably his most accessible, I would say, I don't want to tarnish it by calling it entry level, but it's definitely his most accessible projects. So I would say that's a good way to, get your feet wet with his music. So, without further ado, let's hop into it. Firstly, let's just admire the album cover. Beautiful 3D render, wonderful purple tones as well. I just think it's a really good looking album cover, and I think I'm glad that it is 3D rendered as well, just because I think 3D rendering is such a skill that very few people can master, and I think this is done really, really nicely. So enough about that. Let's get into the actual meat of the project itself. So it's not an album, it's a mixtape, but the elephant in the room needs to be addressed. Firstly, this project is Leviathan in length. It's got 33 songs on it, which is more than most greatest hits albums even have. And the runtime of this is an hour and 39 minutes, which is longer than most movies. So if you are going to listen to this, you best believe it is a commitment, but I think it's a commitment that is well worth the wait. And I'm surprised that he released this as a mixtape rather than as an album. But I mean, there's of course business reasons as to why you would release it as a mixtape rather than an album. But this almost does have like a triple album feel, just because it does go through a really nice thematic progression. This is, and I mean, on my first listen, it was kind of hard for me to nail it down just because I was so focused on the production. But there are themes of, him finally getting out, getting back to the grind. You can feel that right through it. And I would say it's delivered with the same, if not more, charisma and hunger than he's ever done before. He spent 5 years away, and now he's out. He unfortunately he hasn't been able to go back to Watts in Los Angeles yet, but he did make an appearance at South by Southwest fairly recently, where he did a Billboard showcase for the audience, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of Greedo to come. But you can just feel this guy's a man with a mission right now, and it just and it's even more so because he's got so much time to make up for now because he's been incarcerated. I was reading in the Los Angeles Times in an interview with him. I think he recorded something like 270 songs in 45 days, and since he's been out, and that's just, I mean, the work ethic is crazy. So I've got no doubt that we're going to have way more material to be treated to when he releases it. So the production, like every other Greedo project, the production is on point. Now, Greedo himself is actually a really solid producer. Most of his Purple Summer mixtapes were self-produced, but this one does have some really big names on there. You've got Lex Luger, Harry Fraud, 12 Hana, Tez. They all contribute, along with some other ones as well. And you know, there are certain tracks that are, of course, these very grimy, gritty, hard-hitting ones, but there are also what I like to call summer bangers, almost kind of reminiscent of Trap House, although they don't quite have that DJ Mustard club feel, but they do definitely have that very melodic, upbeat style that at least I associate with Greedo. Now, there are features on there. There's a few features on there as well. The most prominent ones for me were the ones by Rich the Kid, Skilla Baby, Ty Dolla $ign. Those are just a few of them. I know there's Big Head is on them. Cypress Moreno is another one, and I know I'm forgetting a couple. Of more, but the features are absolutely wonderful. The Rich the Kid one is called Forever Millionaires, and it's almost a wonderful call and response that they both just complement each other perfectly. Rich the Kid doesn't overpower Greedo, and I mean, on this project, like I said, he's on a mission. It's impossible to steal the spotlight from him. He is front and center with everything, and everything works that way. The production works that way. The features work that way. It's almost as though everything has been crafted to showcase this new era, this messianic return of Greedo, if you will, and it works perfectly. Now, for me, I'm going to list some standout tracks that I have on the album. Now, because there's 33 of them, you best believe that there is a few. I have 12 of them, and I'm going to list them right here. So I've got Hummers, Industry, Forever Millionaires, Ain't Gonna Slide, Paisa, Pick It Up, Day Shift, Perks, Spend Time Part 2, Load the 9, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and Rockstar Lifestyle. This means that out of the 33 tracks on the list, in my opinion, 12 of them are certified bangers. That's more than, that's a larger track list than most albums. And it's a wonderful ratio. 12 out of 33, 36% of your album is straight heat, undeniable heat. Not to say that all the others are bad, but these 12 that I just rhymed off, those are the ones that really had me bumping. To have that solid of a ratio, it's a good project. So, let's get into the conclusion of it, because I don't want to ramble. Is this Greedo's most accessible work? Is this going to catapult him to mainstream success? Probably not, due to a couple of things. Mainly due to its length, and again, like the people who are really like I said before, if you really want to get into Greedo, I would really encourage you to listen to his trio of Purple Summer mixtapes, because those are way more accessible. However, if you're a diehard Greedo fan, you're going to be eaten good. This is a amazing album. If you've been following Greedo for a while, sorry, not album, mixtape. If you're a big Greedo fan, you've been following him for a while, you're gonna love this. There's 33 tracks to sink your teeth into. It's Greedy Giddy has delivered more than enough to keep us satisfied. We've been hungry, we've been waiting, and he truly has delivered. I think this project ultimately is a testament to not only his work ethic and just the sheer volume of songs that he's has at his disposal to put out, but it's also something like it just speaks to his generosity as well to his fans. It's not often that any fan base is treated to a 33 track project. 33 tracks. That's crazy. And here we are, Greedo fans are treated from, by the Wolf of Grape Street himself to 33 of his finest. And I think that, I'm sure, we can definitely be sure that this is the first of many, many projects in this new era to come from Greedo. And I can safely say, not just for myself, but for lots of Greedo fans too, that we await with bated breath for his next one. My final rating for this one is going to be 4 out of 5 grapes. Just kidding. 4 out of 5 stars. It's a really solid album. Of course, the length is going to be problematic for a lot of people. It is a commitment to listen to. It may almost have been a little bit better to split it up into 3, but at the same time, it works. It's a great mixtape and a great project. And I think what better way to announce his return than by delivering this magnificent leviathan of an album out here. I also am really hoping that he is going to be able to leave Texas for his parole, so then that way he can get back on the road to support this project as well, and to release some new ones, and of course to go back home to Watts. It's the hashtag free Greedo is no longer applying now it's welcome back Greedo, but hopefully we can make it to welcome home Greedo when he gets back to Watts. So if you found this album review entertaining, helpful, if this has inspired you to get into the artist, drop a like on the video, comment down below to share your thoughts. If you've listened to it as well, let me know what you thought of it. And of course, consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content like this and more content that I produce on my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching.